I'm gonna just make a criticism of what I see in the black world. You don't give your kid anything to do anything, but you expect this person to do something for you. How is this person, if you're a person and you can't take care of one kid, then you have 5 more. What do you expect?
Yes.
So now, like, it puts a burden. I'm gonna tell you, like, as me, when I get people coming into the business, I'm like, oh, you don't have this or that? So I'm like, okay. Rachel, Joan, we're gonna put this person into the, you know what I mean? It's like almost every year, you know? Because the person came with nothing, but they got talent. So how is this person going to create for Uganda? How are they going to create for Africa? How are they going to be, and especially for men. Women, you have a little bit more sympathy for, but what I'm seeing with a lot of these young African men, their parents gave them nothing, go figure it out. Well, how is a child supposed to become anybody? He's going to be somebody's husband one day. You don't give him nothing. So now then you expect that person who you didn't give anything to, or the most minimum, at least from my untrained eye. I don't know what in the African setting, but this is what I'm seeing. When they come to me, I'm looking at you didn't do as much as you should have did for this particular person.
Yeah.
So they can't produce anything. So now then we have to be like, okay, this person needs housing. This person needs X, Y.
Black tax. Black tax is a term that originated in South Africa for money that black professionals provide to their family every month outside of their own living expenses, usually out of obligation. Hi, welcome to the Repart podcast. My name is Janita Maya.
My name is Outer Brian, man from Eastern Uganda, content creator. Nice to be here.
O'Shea Duke Jackson, California. Let's go.
Okay, I already described what black tax is, so watch this clip with us and react to it with us.
I do not want to take care of my mama. A lot of us young entrepreneurs that grew up in poverty, didn't come from shit, have this idea that when we get on, we taking care of everybody. Mama, daddy, granny, brothers, whole family, right? The problem is most of our families were actually poor due to shit that was actually in their control. Poor money management, lack of discipline, inability to create healthy boundaries, no valuable skill set, but just other bad decisions that they never spoke about. So even though it's honorable, it's noble to want to take care of our people, it's just a bullshit band-aid solution that's going to make your people dependent on you. You really want to be the big dog amongst your people? Give them the tools that you use to produce results. Give them the game, give them the knowledge, give them the mindset to create for themselves. That way, when it's time to eat, it's a potluck, not just eating off your plate. You feel me?
Now watch this woman miss the whole point simply because he said he didn't want to take care of his mother.
You see what I'm saying? So now these black men out here talking about they don't even want to take care of their mothers. That was the whole big thing. Everybody.
So yeah, guys, what do you think?
I think you'll go first.
No, let you go first. Ladies first.
Well, thank you. Do you see?
Romantic.
No, it's not being romantic, it's being a gentleman. But I hear what he's saying. Now, to give a perspective from an African child. Oh, by the way, we have our studio audience. They also have a mic on them so they can be able to say something. We have Rachel and Kohan in the background.
Right.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, as an African girl child, black tax is something that I've known all my life. I've grown up seeing. It's normal to me because that's what I've grown up seeing. When you grow up as an African child, you grow up, you get a job, and you take care of the family. It's like the most normal thing. But I've seen situations where it becomes so bad that people become poor because of black tax. Like they're not developing because of black tax. Like the money they would be saving, they're sending it back home, take care of the home, you know, instead of them progressing in life. And I've seen circumstances where the person is not even taking care of the immediate family, they are taking care of the extended family too. Now it's a situation where they may be sending money back home, take care of some kids, but you have people in that extended family still giving birth to kids they cannot take care of, and they're saying, oh, God will provide, meaning God will work through you to pay the black tax for me to keep doing something behind closed doors and giving birth and whatnot. But I think black tax to me is something I've grown up, I've been seeing all my life. So to me, it's a normal thing. You know, it's a normal thing. And then parents make it seem like, oh yeah, you're going to become more successful when you give black tax. Now, it all depends on how you look at it. You can look at it as black tax, or you can look at it as you being generous. You know, you being generous and maybe taking care of certain things. Yeah. Rachel is burning with something. Rachel,
Go ahead,
please.
Rachel.
Yeah, Jonita, to build on your point, like you've said, this is something you've grown up seeing and it's okay, which makes it a vicious cycle, you know, where I'm seeing so many, me being a working Ugandan, and I know so many working Ugandans who are like working like to support the non-working family members because parents decided I'll have a large family so I can be okay. They didn't think of working for their retirement, but they thought of having a large family that can take care of them in their old age. And where is that leaving us as kids, as a young girl who's trying to break barriers or who's trying to like have something of her own, you know, but I have like this whole burden on me. You know, I have to take care of the siblings, I have to take care of the cousins of the, you know, and on top of that, there are so many weddings, there are so many things that you're expected to contribute to, you know. So by the time you start working, it's like a money machine. Every week, every month, you have something you have to contribute to before you even think of yourself. And now that is causing a lot of, is increasing so many social economic issues to the country. And I would say in this country, we are having, the population is growing more than the economic growth.
Yeah, right.
Which is a problem.
Yeah.
Which is why we are having so many people who are unemployed. And then they have to devise means to get money to take care of people at home. That's why we have so many people leaving to go to Saudi Arabia, to go to Dubai, to like work despite of whatever that is going on. That's why I hate to talk about this, but I know like open like this, but that's why we have corruption. Yeah, and that's why most people do not care about it. We are normalizing it because now you have some certain connected individuals. You have some certain connected individuals who want to, you know, furnish their lavish lifestyles. But where is that leaving the working person? Where is that leaving a young girl like me who was over like I'm just giving an example, who was like over 10 people to take care of back at home, who expect me to have the money. If I have a job that I do full time, but I'm only getting 300, yeah, but I have to send back money at home monthly or weekly, you know, and on top of that, I have to take care of myself. Prostitution.
Ooh.
Yes, that's why. Yeah, so it's not causing just problems in the economic world, but it's causing problems. High crime rates. That's where we start. People feel like, okay, if I can't get this from work, I'll get it from somewhere else. They feel entitled, you know. Corruption, you know. So many problems to the country, but and surprisingly, most people are not aware of black tax, and we are not talking about it. We are not having these conversations with our families. We are not talking about these things in schools. We have churches. These people preach prosperity, blah blah blah, but they do not teach about these things. So this is something that should be talked about widely. People should be educated about it so that at least the young generation does not repeat the mistakes of maybe the generation before.
Wow,
It
Rachel.
was very powerful. That was enough to save Africa right there.
Yeah.
You know, let me just say this as somebody that is looking at this black tax thing as from an untrained eye. I have some experience with it. Now, I came from a lower middle class. I can say now that we've more of an upper middle class family now. But you know, when you see like young NBA players that were black, so they came from nothing. You know, like a LeBron James. So now, if he goes to the NBA and you have a white player that goes to the NBA, one of the things you notice is that the white player, his family is pretty much already settled. Now it's the black player who his mom is living in the ghetto, his family is living in the ghetto. And so these guys literally have to be they're the meal ticket, the way out. And even in South Africa, I read an article where black South Africans, after Nelson Mandela and the ANC took over in 1994, you started to see these first generation South Africans going into the middle class. But there was a difference between the whites in the middle class. That is, the ones that were black were sending money back home to their families, and the families were mismanaging the money because simply they were entitled to the money. So there was no development happening. And that's typically of everybody if your family is poor. When you give your family more money, your mom and the money, they're gonna fuck it up. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. So even with me and my own family, there's certain things I do. My mom is, bless her heart, she's great. But there's certain neutralizations, or there's certain things that we neutralize behavior to help this business continue to grow and to help her grow at the same time, which has done a marvelous job helping us grow from Cali. Yeah. But I also noticed that a lot of times when somebody comes into the business, they have nothing. Like nobody came into the business that we currently have. Mm. Like we couldn't even edit a video in this country. To be where we're at now, God has really been there for us, right? Shout out to the atheists.
Amen.
Yeah. But the situation was these people had they had nothing. Mm. Their family gave them nothing, right? So what the little they had, they're supposed to give to their own family. I had to tell them, like, hey, wait. Think about yourself. Like you need to develop as a young person. And something that I didn't know was that the women were expected to take care of their father.
More than the boys, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm like, wait a minute. These are women and they're sending money back. And so as a foreigner, when you start meeting people and they seem so desperate, you're like, Africa is corrupt and all of that. Why are they overcharging? And it's like, okay, now I see the situation that they're in. I can understand it more. This is why it is what it is. But typically the black tax is really stopping Africa from developing, in my honest opinion. Mm. Yeah, because like Rachel made a point, the growth of the population is nullifying the GDP growth and development of the country. Mm-hmm. So you need to have more money to sustain your population. And when you don't, when you think about, I'm going to have all these kids to take care of me, most successful people have less kids. People who earn more have less kids. That's why your developed countries don't produce like Africa. So the more kids you have and the more kids are less skilled, they don't do very well. And then you make it the burden on them to go to the, Kampala or Lagos, the major city, to send you money back, or overseas. Mm. Then usually when people go to these places overseas, you're still in the money. Like there's a situation that I experienced. A young lady went to Dubai. She asked me, listen, my family is stealing my money. Mm. And my brother's spending the money and not doing anything with it. So now you're burdening them. And one thing I will tell you is like, sometimes your family, I'm not telling you what to do, but for me, certain elements of my family, I cut off completely because you're not going to burden me. There's certain things in my family, they know better. Don't ask me for that. I'm not going to give it to you because I need to live my life. I have to develop. When you die, you're going to leave your debt to me. What's simple what they do? Mm. You know, my granddad, before he passed away, like 10 years before he died, he took a reverse mortgage on his house. What a reverse mortgage is that you stop paying your mortgage, and then until you die, then the bank will take it, or the family has to pay for it. Mm. He did that. So he didn't leave us that wealth. He left us that bill. Mm. So either we pay the bill for him, or they take the house. So now we have to come up with the money to pay for that, or the bank takes it. Now the house is worth way more now than 10 years ago. Yeah. It's went up like 300% in value. So this black taxes is keeping Africa behind. And so then when somebody like me who comes in with a certain level of, okay, my mom is stable as a foreigner. When I come into Uganda as an entrepreneur, it's hard for somebody to compete with somebody like myself because I don't have that much obligation to my family. Like when I come here and I see you as an entrepreneur, well, you can't invest as much into the business as me because you have all those folks to take care of. Whereas me, I'm just dumping all my returns or profits of our wheat into the business. So how do you expect the local African brothers and sisters to grow? They can't. And that's why entrepreneurs will always do very well, for the most part, in lands like this. Because when we're coming over here, we don't have to really send so much money back home. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I start profiting from business here, I can just put it right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't develop your talent when the people are spending their money taking care of their family who is going to mismanage the money and they're entitled and not doing anything with the money.
Yeah. Before Brian, do you want to say something?
You can, okay.
Let me just say
You want to be
something.
romantic now.
But Kohani wants to say something.
Go ahead, Kwani.
Okay, in my experience with the black tax, it happened with, we still have it too back home. It's something I see because like when my sister got divorced and she came to live with us, she started taking care of us because I was in school. My brother was in school. She had her 2 children. Although my mom was working at the same time, she didn't make as much money that would cater for everything we needed to do.
Yeah.
So now when her job, because she was working under contract, when it ended, we had to like now go back to the drawing board and be like, so you need to get a job. You need to start doing something so that you can send money. You can give money back home. So like right now, I do send money home.
Yes.
Even though she does send money home, I also do send money home because at the end of the day, at the back of my mind, it's part of my bills. I know I need to send money home. I need to take care of this and that and that. So also like Rachel was saying, it stops you from doing so many things.
Yeah.
There's so many things you want to do for yourself. Maybe you have a project you want to start for yourself, but you can't because at the end of the day, the finances that you would have used for yourself end up going back home to take care of those people who are left back home. And it's actually quite difficult, especially let's say you were raised by a single parent and they have younger children back home, it becomes even much more stressful. So than having 2 parents. Because if you have 2 parents, they, you can like send a small amount.
Yeah.
But if it's just like your mom or your dad and you have like younger siblings, those ones are the ones who actually stress you out more than your parent because like if I don't, no one will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in an African setting, the older sibling must make sure the younger sibling goes
Are
to
okay.
school.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I have actually seen it with my big sister. Like you find like, especially firstborns, God bless their souls.
What about the middle child? Because
Let me first speak
we
for
give
the
all this
firstborn.
praise. Okay.
Let me speak for the firstborn first. Because firstborns have realized like most firstborns raise the other children. Like they raise them. It's like your parents, sorry to say this, like they weren't ready for a child and they were like, oh my God, damn, now we have a baby. Then they raise them and they're like, now since you're here, yeah.
Deputy parent.
Yeah. So you become a deputy parent. You're just there for your siblings. They need this, you give. Because I remember there's so many times when I was in school, like when my sister was started working so early, I would call her when I was in high school and I'm like, oh, Janet, I need this. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll give you. And I've seen her do this, like she will pay school fees for her 2 sons, then come back, take care of me, take care of my small brother, take care of my mom, and still take care of herself. So we were always part of her budget. We actually used to have a joke in our house. See how other houses, people are usually like, shh, daddy's sleeping. I was telling this to Rachel yesterday, daddy's sleeping. In our house, it used to be my sister. You used to be like, keep quiet, Janet is sleeping. She has to wake up early in the morning and go to work. So it's a burden.
Yeah.
It's a very huge burden.
It is a burden. Just speaking, shout out to all the firstborn kids. First of all, the firstborn daughters in an African setting, those ones have it tough. They have it rough because there's a thing of being a deputy parent, but when you're a girl, you are like the deputy mother in the family for firstborn girls. You like take on the responsibilities of your mom. If the mom is not around, you are left in charge. So you take on all her duties. The kids are not yours, but it's like they're yours. But I wanted to say, Kohani is talking about the firstborn child. What about the middle child? I feel like the middle child is overlooked because what I think happens is sometimes when parents have expectations for the firstborn child, and that firstborn child does not meet those expectations. They are pushed down to the middle child. Now the middle child must carry on this. Or now that the firstborn child failed to meet these expectations, as a middle child, I have to meet these expectations. And that's also a burden. I feel like every child in that one, do not overlook the middle child, because the middle child has also suffered as firstborn.
Joanita, we are not trying to look the middle child, but the first child, because it's not just even your siblings. Sometimes it's even your cousins, other people.
The
And
first
then
child in the clan.
there is a certain way you're expected to like. There are some responsibilities you're expected to like do. It's not just financially. Some people are leaning on you emotionally. You're expected to represent parents. If they can't go to a certain wedding, if they can't go to a certain meeting, they'll send you. So you have to make time off your busy schedule, something, and then go cater to these things. And then if you're unmarried,
It's worse.
that's another issue, because then there's a certain trend or a certain example you're supposed to set for these young kids. So every time they'll be referring to, oh, you shouldn't be unmarried like your elder. You want to end up like your elder sister. You want to end up like this and that. So it becomes like a whole burden, and then there is a way they train you not as a child, but as an adult, right from a young age. So
As a next of kin.
exactly, as so many things, So then you have other people like uncles or other relatives also treating you like an adult. These people will come 45 year plus 50, someone is coming to borrow from you, are young, and they're borrowing a very insane amount. And like, where do you expect me to get all this money? They'll be like, at your age, you should be married, get this money for us, get a rich man. Why are you there if you can't get this money? Why wasting your time working if you can't get enough money to take care of us, the old people? But it's not my job if like you really did not work, for your retirement. Don't put the burden on me. But it all comes from
Wait, Kuhani, go ahead, Kuhani.
To add on what Rachel is saying, I remember like when I got this job and I started leaving the country. One of my aunties came and told me, she was like, oh, when you go there, don't forget us. I'm like, bro, where do you think I'm going? They feel like, there's that mentality of like, once you start going out, they think like it's instant money. And I'm like, yo, it's not instant money. People are out there struggling. Like it's even worse outside than it is back home. So they expect you to come back like, oh, our savior is back. Your cousins are there. What did you bring for me? I'm like, bro, what did I bring for myself? I came here,
Yeah.
So
An African child never goes home empty-handed.
I know.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon.
Yes.
You can't go home empty-handed.
Let me just say this. I've heard that from certain people here that've told me that. But I guess what I want to know is because if you're a person like myself who's an American and you're dealing with a young lady who is, and probably the people in the audience want to know, is that person, okay, if he's doing very well, he's an African American, is he expected to take care, or even she, is he expected to take care of the family also? Because let's say if he's doing well. Let's say if I got married to you. Let's say, would I be expected to take care of?
I want to let Rachel answer this one because I feel like she has more expertise.
Well, for my experience, and I've told you this many times, if for me, like I don't have pressure from my family in any way, and I have been blessed. To come from a family. I wouldn't say they're like rich, but at least we are at a level where if you are looking for certain amount of money, if you have an issue, we are not going to make a clan meeting, call people of we last had from 10 years ago. No, it's there are certain things we are going to take care of immediately.
Okay.
And then that I don't have the pressure as the firstborn to be married or to bring a man home so he can pay bride price because someone needs their house renovated. My siblings are not studying, so this man will have to come and pay tuition for them and all that. But I have seen this first-hand experience from close people I have in my life. They this person was dating like at university, and then once their dad got to know about them dating, they were like, who's the man? What does he do? He better be someone who's rich because, now we need to finish this. He has to set up something for me. Your brother has to, finish university. Now they were counting on the man that she has to bring home. She felt so pressured that before even she graduated, she was getting married. So you see it with so many families and with so many people, like most times when they hear I'm dating, let's say they hear I'm dating an American or someone who like a white man, because some also advise them to
get white men.
Exactly, because they see money. So the next thing you hear is, send us money. This some relative resurrect, and they're asking you. The first thing they ask is for money, or when they see, even when they hear, when I traveled, when we traveled,
we went to Nigeria.
Yeah, some people,
it was fun. We went to Nigeria.
Very close family who knew, but
and we were in business class too.
Yeah, so somehow.
Did you tell them that?
Of course, I shared so many things. So some people
John was mad too.
Somehow, and then they were calling me, and they were claiming their love for me. How I'm lost, this some are like relative. How I'm lost, how I should give them some money, because to them, if I was on a plane, that's money.
You have money.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this though. But like for some of the brothers out there that might be like saying, "Okay, I want to marry a woman." On average, if they were to marry and then they'd have to pay the bride price depending on the tribe. Mostly all tribes, there's some sort of a bride price, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so then are they expected then to take care of her brothers and things like that?
That varies from families to families.
Yeah.
But if it's an average earning family, or let's say it's a poor family that's most times they're making ends to meet day to day,
the answer is yes.
You
ready to pay?
Yeah.
You're paying everything.
But exactly.
You want to pay?
But to add on what you're saying, if an African American gets with I don't think the girl would expect him to take care of the family. It's the family that would expect him to take care of the family.
Yeah, but sometimes
it's not every family.
Sometimes it's us the girls
who decide
to like what information we feed the family. Also how we tell I can come. They don't expect, of course, but I come and I'm like, he'll take care of this and this and that. So they demand based off what I am telling them.
Yeah. Yeah. But like Rachel said, it's not every family that expects you to take care of them. Although traditionally, the son-in-law takes care of the girl's family.
Oh, I see.
Because with my grandma, we're getting personal. With my grandma on my mom's side, it's my auntie's husband who redid everything, literally.
What do you mean we did?
Like built my grandma's house and like did everything.
Okay. He was a part of the black tax too by marriage.
Yes, by marriage.
Okay, so it's not just the people that come in. You can get married into the black tax.
Yeah, because traditionally the son-in-law takes care of the family. That's traditionally, but now things are modern. Like Rachel said, it all depends on the information and how you go back home. If you go back home in a lavish car, you will pay. But
also some of them use it to get money from these people. I'll use, my cousin sick, this one has died. When it's not true, or these people are not demanding all this money from me, but because I want to get some money and do something for myself. So I'll use them as an excuse.
That's evil.
To like get money from.
I've actually had that experience. Like,
tell us.
Okay, it wasn't me.
Story time music.
It wasn't me, but I had an uncle, us, of course, back where we come from.
Yeah.
Me in my village there. We're not so doing well. So one time, one of my uncles came up with a story, faked the story that the son had passed on. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
So he called my mom, because I was staying with my mom, and told her, I've lost my son. I need some money. And we were like, oh my God, this is serious. So she actually had to look for some money and send the guy. But later on, when we went for some function in the village, we saw the son. So we asked the man, I thought your son died. He just looked so stupid. But there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these things happen. But me, I personally believe because this black tax, okay, like you said, we have grown up in this. Yeah, we have grown up in this, and basically, all I can say is you just have to do what you can because you cannot avoid it. But you do what you can. It might be of a burden, but you might carry the burden to some extent. But of course, you shouldn't let the burden carry
Overpower
you.
Yeah.
So you just do what is in your means because at the end of the day, you can't ignore family. Yeah, so you support where
Shit,
you
yes,
can.
you can. Oh, well, maybe it's different for y'all, but for me, yes, I can.
Yeah. But just to add on, were you still saying something?
No, it's okay.
For retirement, when we compare your world to our world in terms of retirement, your world has the 401k.
401k.
That one,
Yeah.
you guys have retirement set up. When you come over here, if they were working professionally, then they may have NSSF. And we all know you're not getting that money. You will die and your grandkids will die and your great-grandkids
will not
will
get it.
die. And you'll never see a coin of that money. So over here, it's more like, people saving for retirement isn't, it's getting popular now. But before, most parents looked at their kids as retirement.
Yeah.
Especially like parents who are non-professionals. Not every parent out here is educated, by the way, guys.
Yes.
I want you to know that some of our parents are illiterate. They didn't go to school. They didn't finish school. So those ones are now looking at maybe my child will be my retirement or let me save up money. But like, when you're planning for retirement, you're supposed to plan for retirement in a way that you keep getting monthly income. No, it's not just a certain amount of money seated somewhere. I think that's the thing people don't get. They think, let me just save up this amount of money and then I'm set for retirement.
Yeah.
Forgetting that for retirement to work, you need that consistent income to keep coming in. So I guess that's where our worlds now come apart. Because like to you, you're like, oh my, I think you guys also like get inheritance. The person has passed on, there's inheritance. Whereas for us, it's more like, if the person has passed on, it's more of like assets and such. It's land, it's house.
It's not so liquid.
Yes, it's not so liquid. It's more like a fixed or tangible asset in that term. So yeah, I do see it that way. So most times when the parents get to retirement, then there's no one to take care of them.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Are you going to leave your dying mom to die just like that when you exist? No. So of course, I feel like most times people pay tax not even out of obligation, but also out of the fact that they don't want to feel guilty that they didn't do something. Well, that person was still alive.
Let me say this. I get what you're saying, but at least for my mother, I know we're in different continents. I grew up in North America. My mother did the best thing she could do for me to put me in a situation where I can be successful. I'm gonna just make a criticism of what I see in the black world. You don't give your kid anything to do anything, but you expect this person to do something for you. How is this person, if you're a person and you can't take care of one kid, then you have 5 more. What do you expect?
Yes.
So now, like, it puts a burden. I'm gonna tell you, like, as me, when I get people coming into the business, I'm like, oh, you don't have this or that? So I'm like, okay. Rachel, Joan, we're gonna put this person into the, you know what I mean? It's like almost every year, you know? Because the person came with nothing, but they got talent. So how is this person gonna create for Uganda? How are they gonna create for Africa? How are they gonna be, and especially for men. Women, you have a little bit more sympathy for, but what I'm seeing with a lot of these young African men, their parents gave them nothing, go figure it out. Well, how is a child supposed to become anybody? He's gonna be somebody's husband one day. You don't give him nothing. So now, then you expect that person who you didn't give anything to, or the most minimum, at least from my untrained eye. I don't know what in the African setting, but this is what I'm seeing. When they come to me, I'm looking at you didn't do as much as you should have did for this particular person.
Yeah.
So they can't produce anything. So now then we have to be like, okay, this person needs housing. This person needs X, Y, and Z, just so they can be able to swing the bat. And then they can. Then all of a sudden, oh, we miss you. Like Rachel's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but hold on. But you didn't even give this person any chance to become somebody.
Yeah.
So now it comes to somebody like, let me see that you have the talent. Like a lot of times I notice with a lot of the people here, their self-esteem is so low because their parents it's almost like they feel like their life isn't even valuable because their parents never taught them about, maybe their parents didn't know. So then they come work, when they even want to negotiate for pay. I remember one interview we had did one lady. She's like, how much do you want? She's like 300,000 shillings. It was like $80 a month. I said, hold on, Rachel, come here. So just go ask the lady what it costs to be here every month. So Rachel says, how much does it cost to be you every month? She was like, 1 million shillings. So why didn't you ask me for the 1 million? Like, if you felt that was what it cost you to be you, what? But they're afraid. So now if you already are making $100 a month, but it costs $300 a month to be you, because data, you need transport. Some people are working in this Kampala for transport. It costs them more money to go to work than they are making. Yet they want to be they want to feel some kind of like they're benefiting society, so they want to go to work. They have pride about themselves. So now this person who's even paying to go to work, imagine that. Then you ask that person for money because you didn't give that person any tools, and that person has you've created 9 or 10 more brothers for him. I just think that's not right. I mean, this is me with the untrained eye, and people will battle me in the comments, but you're not giving your children enough opportunities to produce for the country. That's how I feel. It might be wrong, but
yeah.
I'm with you on that, Oshay. That's really it's very selfish to me,
very.
It's very selfish. Especially, we don't ask to be born, first of all.
Hey.
When the parents make plans of getting married, have all these kids, we never ask to be born. And as a parent, it's your responsibility to take care of me, until I am at a level where I have to leave and go fed for myself and everything. Now, for you to continue having these kids and expect me or expect us other kids to be your financial backup when you're old without you doing anything, it's so wrong.
Yeah.
It's really wrong, especially when you also come from poverty and there's no hope of redeeming this
inheritance.
Nothing, you're not providing us anything. Some relatives that are paying tuition, or they're seeing us through school and everything, and how they're abusing us emotionally just for these favors they're doing for us, and it's not even their responsibility to do it. So most parents, I would say it's being selfish, especially if you have a man who's not responsible and you keep having these different kids from different men and say, oh, maybe this will be the president of tomorrow.
Imagine.
Oh, this one will come with another blessing. What are you doing? It's so wrong. And I feel like to some people it's okay. It's very fine, to continue doing these things.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
honestly,
what?
It's very selfish.
Yeah.
For me, I would call it selfish.
I'm with you on the part of being selfish, because I feel like 1 or 2 kids are enough, honestly. When you look at, let's say president,
That's one
the ex-president Obama, you see how they have that 2 kids and now they're enjoying that old age.
Yeah.
But it is you that wants to go above 4.
20.
I think
Just
the
to
average
prove a
lady has
point.
6. What am I at the story? One lady had 44 kids here in Uganda.
But why? You understand? Why? And you people, when kids grow old, once they hit 18, they leave you behind.
Yeah.
So as you're out there giving birth, just keep that in mind, because give birth to 1 or 2 and then move and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Your life is not meant to be for your kids. You can have life after that. I feel like most of us have seen our parents sacrifice so much just for kids and whatnot. In my head, I'm just like, you could have had 1 and you could have stopped there.
Can I say something real quick?
Just
Let me just say this.
ended.
I don't want to get canceled with this, but I don't talk about this a lot, but since we're on the subject, I've had to take on the burden of parents being in Uganda. People don't know that. But because, just to have people to be in the business, I've had to do stuff that parents, I feel like, should have done just to be here. I don't talk about it a lot, but what happens is when you don't do that, then it's like, okay, another person has to come in. And let's just say, to be honest, everybody's not going to be like me. Some people are going to take advantage of your kids when you can't take care of them. You know what I mean? We heard about the story about the ladies that get married to these white guys and things like this. You talk about prostitution. Not everybody's going to treat your daughters or your sons in the right way, because the world is not nice. So if you don't put your kids in a position where they can be taken care of or do something, you leave it up to whatever somebody wants to do to them. You think they're being treated so nice all the time in Oman or Saudi or these places? Qatar? Probably not. So then it makes it hard for Africa to defend itself when you're sending your talent out to get little money instead of them being here to develop, to improve Africa so it can defend itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I also agree with you, but I feel like when it comes to black tax, you are allowed one chance for me to help you. Just one. And if I usually tell myself, if God allows me to get to where I want to get financially and in my career, I am allowed one chance to help you. You want to start a business, I would listen to your business plan. If it makes sense, I can fund it. But from there, you pick it up. I have given you the means to keep yourself going. Because there's people you will help, but you are like, what have you been doing? You said you're going
Yeah.
You say you're going to start up a business, but then I give you funding for that business, then it crumbles. You're like, what have you been doing with all this money that I gave you?
Yeah.
So, secondly, I remember there was a story I read in the newspaper about a lady who was suing her family because she was working in Saudi. She was a housemaid and she went through all that nonsense and saved up about 700,000 shillings, Kenya shillings.
It's about $6,000, something like that.
Yeah. And when she came home, they told her like they bought a plot. I don't know, they did what. When she came home, she found nothing. Like they were just spending the money.
Happens
They were
a
having
lot.
fun, living their best life. So she was like, now I have to come back home and take care of my children. You guys ate my money. So somebody has to pay me.
Yep.
So everyone deserves, like, just one chance. I help you out. If you from there, that's on you.
Yeah. But guys, let's wrap this up. Give us your last remarks.
You go, Brian.
Yeah, my last remarks, like I said, the world we are living in is very crazy. Yeah, but do what you can, support when you can, and also please let's try to be what can I call it? Let's try and be, what can I say? Considerate. If somebody is out there struggling, whatever little they send back home, you just have to appreciate because you don't know what they are.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know what they are going through. You don't know what type of job they are doing. So yeah, it is what it is.
Rachel, last remarks?
One thing I would say, people need to educate themselves, or us who understand this, we need to educate people about the black tax, you know, online and offline.
Yeah.
And then please don't break your back for people who are not even appreciative, because not everyone is appreciative. Like, before you take care of other people, first take care of yourself. Yeah?
That's true.
Like how they say first save before you spend anything else. So first take care of yourself, protect your mental health. I'm a big advocate of mental health. And we all know finances, you know, fuel that. So just protect your mental health. Just strive to be financially independent. So don't break your back if you don't have to. Love your family, give them what you can, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool, honey.
Still, at my point, you deserve only one chance.
You have one chance.
One
Yes.
chance for me to help you out.
Yeah.
And also, so if you get that one chance, use it wisely, because
Opportunity comes once in
Yeah.
a lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah.
O'Shea.
Last thing, so I will tell people, you know, because this black tax thing is the same in the African American community, especially like my dad got remarried, so the pressure was on me to. My older brother got married, so the pressure was on me to stay back. I lived at home until I was 34. I lived at my mom's house till I was 34 years old. So then I was like, at that point, I needed to be a man, and so. You know, it's not easy, but at the same time, you know, I was in a position to at least have some skills and was able to go to undergraduate, medical school, things like that. But I want to say is for the people that are in Africa, that are abroad in the diaspora, African American community, look out for yourself, because your family, the only thing they're gonna tell you is I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And you can give them money and all day, but they got to do something for themselves. You had to do something for yourself, so they do too. And if they don't like it, I'm going to say it like this, fuck them. Seriously. Because when you get in that casket, you're going to get in there by yourself. You're not going to, when you like the old saying, when you go meet Jesus, you're going to meet him for yourself. So if I got to get in that box by myself, I got to look out for myself. It's okay to help people. I try to help people as much as I can. Help yourself. Again, shout out to Britam. They're not sponsoring this ad, but we use Britam as a company. I use Britam. Put your money into Britam, things like that. Money Market Funds of Africa. Yeah. If you're in America, you have your, Fidelities, you got Vanguard, you got Charles Schwab. Save your money. Put something for yourself for your retirement. And don't send your money back home and expect your family to give you money. They're not money people. Don't send them money. Keep your money. Because your family is going to feel like, oh, well, I'm the mother, I'm the father. I brought this person, I can spend their money. So, the black tax is okay, but make sure that you are rewarding yourself the most, because people will your money up.
Yeah.
And they will leave you out to die.
Well said. My last remark would be just give within your means. Don't like Rachel say, don't break your back. Give within your means, because at the end of the day, it's all about you. You know what? And people shouldn't guilt trip you into spending money. I know someone who every time they ask her for money, he's like, oh my God, I have to come up with this money. But you know what? If you didn't come up with that money, they would survive. Because
that's a great point.
Because it's human nature to survive. You'll see, they say, oh, we need this, but when you don't send it, they still came up with something. So it's not the end of the world, okay? Unless it's life or death. But yeah, guys, please, where can they find you?
Find me on all my social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Outer Brand, OUTA.
Okay. Kuhani, where can they find you?
I've remembered my point. My other point is have children you can take care of.
Okay.
Yes. If you have money to have 6 children,
no,
why not?
Have one.
Have your 6 children. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Kuhani. That's KHUHANI. The only Kuhani on there.
Okay.
The others, there's no other.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Kuhani. The rest don't want to be found, but if you have any links or anything you'd like to share with us, email us at teamkenganda@gmail.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Kenganda Nation. Hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe. Hit me up for consultation if you want to move to Uganda or if you want to tour Uganda. And yeah, subscribe to the Pan-African Dating Show if you want to see Miss Kuhani Hani doing her thing. We'll see you guys next time.